Hello. Hi, Papa. Some of you, most of you, probably know me. I'm Cat. I use they, he, and she pronouns. Cat Ramirez. I am the creative director of Philadelphia Asian Performing Artists, and I am here with two artists who I really, really admire, Shavon Norris and Jungwoong Kim, who we're going to be collaborating with on a project this summer and fall called Gather Together. Hi, Shavon and Jungwoong. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Thank you. Is it okay if I go, Jungwoong?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes,
Awesome.
please.
Hi, humans. My name is Shavon Norris. I'm a movement-based artist. I'm originally from New York, transplant to Philly for grad school. I use she, her, hers. I live in the world as an artist, as an educator, and as a facilitator. I'm really turned on and juiced up by the idea of inviting people into explorations of what is good for them, what gets them in right and sacred, beloved relationship with themselves, then with other people and the living and non-living world. I'm really into honoring our feelings and our humanity, and I use my art to explore that. So that's me in a little bit.
Thanks. And Jungwoon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Jungwoong Kim. I am pronounced he and him. I'm a dancer and choreographer and yeah, movement artist. And I moved Philly in 15 years ago in from Korea. I'm from South Korea. And yeah, I am so excited about this project together, their name with the collaboration with the Papa, and then co-directing with the Shavon Norris. And I'm very looking for to see what is gonna be happen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, and gosh, Jungwoon is
Ah,
uh, Jungwoon is you're like the such an incredible artist and mover, and you're one of the first like artists I saw when I really started like getting more involved with Asian and Asian American art in Philly. And yeah, consistently your work really just takes my breath away. So I'm really excited that we're doing this. So moving into first question, Siobhan and Jungwoon, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about what Gather Together is, and kind of what are the questions that you're trying to explore through this project? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's helpful to acknowledge that the process first started with Jungwoon, and Jungwoon applied for this project. And then when Jungwoon figured out that it would require someone to think about community and healing and some trauma-informed practices, he thought of me and invited me into the project. And Gather Together in their name is basically an exploration of the last 2 years, the last 2+ years, and what we've lost, what we've gained, how we've expanded, things that have challenged us, things that we're learning about ourselves and reimagining about ourselves. It's an opportunity to acknowledge those things in our bodies and acknowledge them in community with other people. Yeah, I think it's about the last 2+ years and moving towards awareness and acknowledgement in healing centered and trauma informed ways. We want to be gentle and we want to be bold in how we explore that. You want to add something else, Jungwoon, to that?
topic. Yeah, I think what Shabon say about all that thing is yeah, I'm agree, and then also add one thing is I'm thinking about how to our memory 2 year. It was such a really hard and pressure and really tension. And then I feel like this is how we live. When we tension, it is really get tired, and then really we need to be relieved of our body, of our mind, and of course we are artists. So through the art, how we can release this all the tangled thing. that's why one powerful is what we are, gather together, the community get together, and then we share our our grief and gratitude, and then that is such is why we are right now need. So
Mhm.
this project is that's why important.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love the grief and gratitude. Yep,
mhm.
that the acknowledgement, the affirmation, processing of the grief and the gratitude. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'll add here is that Shambat and Jungwoon are kind of doing different workshop, kind of these different gather together processes with a couple of different groups in Philadelphia, a couple of different hubs, and Papa is one of those hubs. And so we're going to kind of get into right now what the workshops might look like a little bit. Essentially, this is a project where where folks can apply to get into these workshops, and you'll be paid a stipend to kind of build a piece around the themes that they were just talking about over the course of a couple of months. Yeah, and so I'm gonna pass it over to Jungwoon to talk about who should apply to this.
Uh, yeah, I feel like I'm a dancer and choreographer and a lot of movement involved. So I think someone really explore and curious and really, uh, you know, really try to something new. But I wanted that people explore over what is in through the pandemic, what is their uh, yes,
Yeah.
something really explore and
Mhm.
themselves. That is really important. I mean, I cannot say word, but I have so much attention in through the 2 year pandemic. But now I'm just open space. I dancing, I teaching, and I feel like it's so relieved. So people, who is not dancer, who is not artist, something really wanted to something try to get out and check it out. So that people I'm looking for. Is this good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanting people to apply that are open and available to explore. Yeah, you don't have to be a professional dancer. You just,
Yes.
and you don't have to have complete mobility over your body. We will work with all of the bodies, people that are interested and curious and available.
Mhm. Yeah. Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the application process and the timeline and stipend and availability. Um, we're going to be putting out an application for this between July 5th and July 11th. So it's going to be a short application timeline process. We'll have a selection process from July 11th through 20th. The selection process we're still determining, but it will be listed clearly on the application. And then between July 20th and August 1st, you'll hear back if you apply, whether or not you were accepted to kind of be a part of this core cohort of Gather Together artists. And then from August through October, we'll be hosting 4 2-hour workshops for y'all to explore the themes that Shavon and Jungwoon were talking about. And then all of that will kind of culminate in a sharing that takes place at the Philadelphia Asian American Film Festival, which will happen sometime in the first 2 weeks of November, I believe. Um, for this project, we are able to select about 4 to 5 core artists. You'll each get paid a stipend right now of about $300 for roughly 12 hours of work. So at about a like $25 an hour rate. And yeah, those are kind of the nuts and bolts, but moving into kind of what these workshops might look like, feel like, smell like, sound like, taste like. I'm curious, Jungwoon and Shavon, if you want to kind of expand a little bit on like what you're thinking these workshops will look like, how we might be making together.
I love that, how we might be making together. I think Jungwoon and I are going into this understanding that we will be the holders of the container. We're going to set like the outline of what the experience will be, and we're so interested in who and what the bodies are in the space. We are movement-based artists, so we know that there'll be movement, but if there's a poet, if there's a singer, if there's a musician, or if there's someone who doesn't name their artistry yet, we're curious about inviting bodies to explore their tools and their expertise and their knowing to lead us into, we don't know what it's going to look like. We want to be really present in the community and offer things and then see what comes up. I'm interested, I don't know about, but I think Jungwoong too, we're interested in being surprised and inspired too as we work. We have an idea of things to offer and we want to be open to the community, what it smells like and looks like and feels like for them and what's important. And the workshops can change based on what we learn about each other and as our relationship expands. So, yeah.
Amazing. So in summer, I think like in some summary, I said I was going to do this and then my mind went blank. So this is me trying to stall for time as I get my thoughts back. Yeah. So in summary, if you're a PAPA member who's interested in kind of exploring themes of grief and loss and growth and celebration and all these like contradictory things, but aren't that contradictory that have happened in whatever the like gobbledygook of the last 2 years have been. If you're interested in like wading through that gook in an artistic way with Shavon and Jungwoong, I hope you consider applying to Gather Together. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to email Papa and we'll get back to you. But thank you so much for listening to this video. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Bye.